Eddie Baza Calvo.
Buenas noches, todos hamzo, half a day. Good evening, District 4. Good evening, my fellow Republicans. Good evening, my dear people of Guam. First, acknowledgements to our Mayor, Mayor Carol Tayama and Fran Regis, who have been organizing and heading District 4 with a bunch of hard-working members of our Grassroots campaign that we started in 2010. This organization, so many of you, the hundreds of you that have come together and built the Calvo Tenorio organization, and now this same organization intact that is moving to get the Republican Party leadership in all aspects of government. Give them a hand. And Madam Mayor, I want to thank you so much. In my time working with the mayor, and our mayor, I'm impressed. Actually, the good Lord has blessed me with a life that has been relatively calm, no major health issues. But not with going into too much detail, but if anyone knows Mayor Carol Tayama and the good work she has done every day, despite sometimes some of the issues and the tragedies that hit people in life, and whether it was her or her family, to me, she serves as a role model for all future public servants, including myself, someone who works selflessly. I'm here to endorse that next leadership that is taking the village of Agate by storm. Kevin, I hear, is again off island. There is a family health issue. And for me to be outside the campaign within 2 weeks of an election because of the health of the family member that you love, that is a special, special sign. Someone who understands the perspective that also in a campaign, your family is so important too. And he is there with his family, so I wish him the best of luck, and I know Kevin will be victorious. And to the dinga of Chris Duenas, Chris Verheeren, I fully endorse this man, and I'm asking every one of you, we need this new generation at the leadership at the helm of Agate. And Chris, and again to Kevin, you have Carol there. She is that role model, and she'll be always around there for advice as well. So God bless you. Also our grassroots leaders, we have a man that ages like fine wine, Benny Siniclis. Benny, I don't know if you know it, but I first ran for the legislature as a senator. There are people my dad asked me to look for as I started looking for supporters. Benny is one of those long-time supporters of my father and has been such a long-time supporter of me. Thank you so much, and I look forward to victory. Victory. And the other, you say dinga too. How do you say triplets in Chamorro? The other one kind of looking like Chris Duenas. And I know Jess Alec. You guys, let me tell you about Jess Alec. I've seen him running Government House. And if he can run the village of PT like Government House, this is going to be one darn good mayor. Give him a hand. Now to my Republican senators, both incumbents and our new blood. My dear people, my first 2 terms in office, even with a Democratic majority, we ran at an accelerated pace, having to deal with issues of a big, big deficit, I think we had 2 ambulances working, 10 police cars, tax refunds taking 5 to 6 years to get paid. Guam was having a difficult time. And in our strategic plan to stabilize our island and take it to its new heights, I want to congratulate those incumbent senators, those that were there the first 2 terms. I look at Tommy Morrison, Frank Blas, Tony Ada, Brant McCready in the second term too, and Chris Duenas. We were a minority. And we had all the Democrats against us in our plan for progress. But those incumbents, those Republican incumbents, were unified as a family, a Republican family, working with our administration, not with all the pressures of the Democrats, who only cared about obstruction. It was the unified Republican family coming together that made that allowed us to have the progress that we've had the past 2 terms. Thank you. And do you remember with the tax refunds, the first instance in 2010, everybody was against it. The editorials were against it. The talk show hosts were against it. The Democrats were blasting away. But because of my Republican compadres in the legislature, working together with the Republican administration, we pulled that refund bills through. And now we're back at, rather than 5 or 6 years as a past, 5 months. But the original plan was for days. And thank you, Brant McCready. Thank you, Tony Ada. Thank you, Chris Duenas. Thank you, Tommy Morrison. Thank you, Frank Blas. Because with this new plan that we have worked together to move through this Democratic majority, to get the tax refunds in days, it was not only an effort to show a truly united Republican Party, but a true united people. Because the Republican Party is about the people. And in those tax refunds, $60 million are EITC, the working poor. And they believed in it. Brant, we agreed on it. We worked with you Republicans because we knew that this was the best solution to helping our people get those tax refunds, not in years, not in months, not in weeks, but days. It was the principles of the Republican Party, and it was the principles that are true about helping those who need help the most, especially those that are the working poor. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, this last term has been difficult. Tony, I don't know how you did it. I know we've had not only to worry about the Democratic Party, but we've also had to worry about keeping our caucus together. And unfortunately, so much has happened, and we could not keep our caucus together. And that is why a law was passed that was overruled my veto that will have damning effects, not only on government workers and retirees, but our general fund and our budgets for the next 50 years. That is what happens when a family is not united. Words are cheap. Coming here together and making statements about unity and about family and about working together as one Republican Party and one people. Those are easy words to say. But when it comes time for action, that is, you see, the true heart and the true soul of our Republican leaders. Thank you, Frank Blas. Thank you, Tony Ada. Thank you, Brad McCready. Thank you, Tommy Morrison. Did I forget any of our incumbent senators? No, I think I remembered every single one. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 2 more years left. I am coming here not to run again. I am coming to all these meetings, this hard-working organization. I see some of our directors here, some of our deputy directors, so many that have worked in our administration that are out there canvassing for all the candidates. You know what? I want to thank these senators because they understood if they wanted to take their pay, they would take their own pay. But they wouldn't take the pay of an administration, of fellow Republicans. It's amazing how this whole mistake has occurred. When right now, Joshua Tenorio is getting paid higher than the governor of Guam. When Colin Taitanu is getting paid higher than the governor of Guam. 2 Democratic leaders. A principal named Eleuterio Mesa, the infamous Eleuterio Mesa, who now was a principal, now assistant superintendent, is now being paid the same as a governor of Guam. And then every one of my cabinet members gets paid less and less. I see the intention of Mike Siniclis and BJ Cruz. The Hay Plan was only good enough for the Democrats, but not for the Republicans. You deserve your pay, senators, Republican senators. You deserve your pay, mayors and vice mayors. Unfortunately, we didn't have unanimity even in our party on that, unlike the first 2 terms. My dear people of Guam, I want to see Republican leadership. I want to see Republican leadership in all areas. But it's more than just words. And that is why I'm here. That is why I've done fundraisers. That's why I'm going out with my organization and telling my directors to go campaign for the Republicans.
We love you, God.
And I love you so much. Kung Gwaja Toro Hamzo. As Abraham Lincoln once said, a house divided will fall. Ladies and gentlemen, there is so much crisis going around in the world today. Around the world, even in the United States. I came back, and I must tell you, the one time in my life after coming from the States, I'm glad I don't vote for president. Because whatever happens the next 4 years in the United States and the world, don't blame the voters of Guam. But what we have control of our lives and our destiny. With all the problems that we've had, and we have problems. We need to work on more. But the progress that has occurred these past 6 years will continue with a unified Republican Party, with Republican candidates that really mean it, and not say it just in words, but in actions and in their hearts and in deeds. Not in a backroom deal with the Democrats. My dear people, it will not take much to go back to the corruption of the past. Look at what is happening in the Department of Education. And I'm sure you've seen, no offense to the spies from the other side, quite coincidentally with its Sunshine 2018, you're starting to see the same old cast of characters come out again. Look what has happened in the Department of Education within 90 days. We are in a pivotal period in the Republican Party and in the island of Guam. I've got 2 more years, my dear people. And for me, as I step back into the private sector and we're back with my family in 2 years, I want to look at every one of you, and tell you that I gave it my all. I gave it because of my love for the Republican Party and for the people of Guam. And that's why I'm campaigning today, tonight, and every day until Election Day. It's because of the people of Guam. And that is why it is so important for all of us to do self-examination. Who are we going to vote for that is for the Republican Party and unity and for Guam? And I'll tell you something. If we can, as a party, come together in heart and in soul, not just words, then how do we expect to get a majority? And even if we do get a majority, how do we expect to move forward in the progress that has occurred? I'm hoping when I saw those first 2 terms in the legislature, even in the Democratic majority, if we can repeat that camaraderie ship, that understanding that we are here for the people of Guam, and that we have a majority. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you've seen the progress these last 6 years, you ain't seen nothing yet. Nothing yet. To the people of Agate, to the people of District 4, to the people of Guam, you have my commitment as a fellow Republican, and as a Guamanian, and as a Chamorro, that my love for the party and my love for the people of Guam is impeccable. And I will work my next 2 years at 150% to be the partners of our mayors and vice mayors, our senators, and our leadership in Congress. Thank you, and God bless you. God bless you all. Viva Agate! Viva Republican! Viva the people of Guam! Thank you, and God bless you.